After 6 long years, we finally have the long-awaited trailer for a theatrical Star Wars movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, which gives us all the intricate details of what we all know will be a compelling and pivotal story with far-reaching consequences on the greater Star Wars lore. No, I'm just kidding. It's more of the same that we've seen from Mandalorian streaming show from the past 2 seasons. There's not a whole lot to say about the movie itself from the trailer, which is more of a teaser than anything, but we can discuss it. The greater discussion, I think, is in what this means for Star Wars as a whole. Let's get into it. As I said, there's not much in the trailer as far as details go. It's pretty much more of the same from the show. We see Din Djarin and Grogu going on adventures, which consists of a lot of walking, looking over hills at things, sitting at tables and talking, with some shooting and explosions sprinkled in for flavor. Oh, and Grogu doing just the most adorable things. The trailer opens to a long scanning shot of Din's ship flying over an ocean, followed by a long shot of Din and Grogu sitting behind a hill looking through a scope. Then we see some kind of gremlin in the sewers with Grogu walking through the sewers after him. Then Din and Grogu go to meet with Sigourney Weaver. They sit at a table staring at each other before Grogu uses the Force to drag a dish of food over to himself. But this is kiboshed by Sigourney grabbing it sternly and giving him an "oh, you little scamp" look. Then, after the Lucasfilm logo, we see Din stepping into a puddle, followed by him kicking a man into a bar. Grogu hops onto his shoulder. Then we see some kind of monster and Din and Grogu flying around in their ship. Then we get a quick montage of images. Grogu swimming underwater, some kind of creature fighting in a hallway, Grogu flying in a speeder with a bunch of gremlins, Din using his jetpack to fly up to his ship, a hut in a fighting ring, with the trailer's one and only word, and Grogu eating popcorn. Then Din does some fighting, robots, big monsters, and he blows up an AT-AT, followed by a long, slow shot of the AT-AT falling off of a cliff. We end with Grogu shooting some kind of sewer monster with a weapon before scurrying away. And that's it. Like I said, not much. If you've seen any episode of The Mandalorian, you've seen this movie. Nothing new, nothing innovative, nothing of substance, and that brings me to the meta-narrative around this trailer. I know that there'll be a lot of channels out there that still cling to their Star Wars fandom, who will watch this trailer and react in over-the-top ways at seeing things they recognize and instances of Grogu acting adorable. They will watch the trailer and clap and celebrate, and I'm sure many of them will go see the movie and rave about how it's so much better than the last Star Wars thing that was released, which was itself so much better than the last Star Wars thing that was released. And eventually something else will be released, be it Ahsoka Season 2 or Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2, and that will be far better than this. It's just the next thing on the conveyor belt of Disney Star Wars content. However, I wonder if any of the people who still like this stuff were hoping, deep down, in a place they will never admit publicly exists, that maybe, just maybe, this movie would present something different. If maybe we would be given some indication that the property was moving in a positive direction and not just rehashing the same tired shtick, or that Andor wasn't a single bright spot that burned bright for a brief period of time before fading into obscurity. Did Star Wars learn any lessons from its frequent failures both in theaters and on streaming? Apparently not. This is another stark reminder of the degradation of the Star Wars brand. For 6 years now, Star Wars, the theatrical event brand, has been reduced to a content category behind a paywall on a streaming site that no one subscribes to. Now, after those 6 long years of false start after false start after false start, Star Wars is now finally returning to the theaters. And it's a glorified episode of one of those serialized shows. This is how Star Wars is re-entering the theaters. This is the thing that's going to put the property back into the cultural zeitgeist. A movie that will require its viewers to be familiar with 24 episodes of The Mandalorian, 7 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, and possibly 8 episodes of Ahsoka to fully understand. Star Wars is now repeating all the errors of the MCU, where every new movie requires hours and hours of homework. I know this is a short video and an even shorter reaction, but the fact is that there's very little in this trailer to actually evaluate. If you're not going to yell "let's go" with everything that pops up on the screen, you'll find this trailer a bit lackluster. I'm sure many will declare that this is actual Star Wars, and that this is going to turn things around for the franchise. But I have no faith that will happen. This is what Star Wars is. This is the legacy of all that's come before it. 40 years of lore wrecked in less than 10 years. Have you seen this trailer? Are you more optimistic than I am? If so, let me know down below. Thanks for watching.